For months, Days of Our Lives has been living under the weight of a loss that felt permanent. Abigail DiMera's death was presented as final, tragic, and emotionally devastating. Her absence reshaped relationships, altered family dynamics, and left Salem with a wound that never quite healed. But now, piece by piece, the writing team appears to be pulling back the curtain, and the evidence is becoming impossible to ignore. Abigail may not be gone at all. What makes this potential comeback so powerful isn't just the idea of Abigail returning from the dead. It's the careful, methodical way the writers are laying breadcrumbs, signaling that something about her death never quite added up. These aren't random plot holes or convenient retcons. These are deliberate narrative choices designed to make viewers question what they thought they knew. The first and most glaring clue lies in how Abigail's death has been revisited repeatedly rather than allowed to fade into memory. On Days of Our Lives, truly dead characters eventually become history. They're mentioned less frequently, referenced in past tense, and slowly folded into legacy. Abigail hasn't been treated that way. Instead, her name keeps resurfacing, in emotional conversations, in unresolved guilt, in mysterious circumstances tied to other storylines. That alone raises red flags. Then there's the matter of the body. In Salem, the phrase "we never actually saw the body" is practically an alarm bell. While Abigail's death was shown, the aftermath was strangely restrained. There were gaps. Details that should have been definitive were glossed over. Certain confirmations felt rushed, while others were oddly ambiguous. Longtime viewers know this pattern well. Salem has a long tradition of declaring characters dead only to later reveal that what was buried wasn't who everyone thought it was. Recently, the writing team has doubled down on that ambiguity. The most shocking clue comes from crypt-related storylines. The DiMera crypt has once again become a focal point, not just as a resting place for the dead, but as a symbol of secrets, cover-ups, and twisted truths. With bodies being moved, dumped, or discovered in unnatural ways, the writers are actively reminding viewers that what's in the ground isn't always who it's supposed to be. This context is crucial. When the show highlights mistaken identities, swapped remains, and hidden deaths, it's not coincidence, it's foreshadowing. Another major clue lies in Chad DiMera's unresolved grief. Chad hasn't been allowed to fully move on, no matter how much time has passed. Every attempt to rebuild his life feels incomplete, emotionally stalled. His grief isn't evolving, it's suspended. That narrative choice suggests something is unfinished. On soaps, unresolved grief often means unresolved truth. Chad's reactions lately have been especially telling. There's a subtle shift in his emotional arc, a sense that he's being pulled back toward the past rather than forward into the future. Conversations involving Abigail feel charged, as if the show is preparing him, and the audience, for a revelation that will shatter everything he's accepted. Even more suspicious is the way Jennifer Horton has been written. Jennifer is one of the most emotionally grounded characters in Salem, and her instincts are rarely wrong. Lately, she hasn't found peace. Instead, she's been portrayed as uneasy, unsettled, as if something doesn't sit right deep in her soul. When a mother can't find closure, Days of Our Lives fans know to pay attention. Jennifer's lingering doubt isn't being dismissed or resolved. It's being nurtured. Then there's the language used by other characters when they talk about Abigail. Writers are extremely careful with wording, especially in long-running soaps. Recently, characters have used phrases that feel deliberately vague, avoiding definitive statements, leaning on emotional interpretation rather than factual certainty. Instead of "Abigail is dead," the dialogue leans toward "we lost her," or "she's gone," which allows for reinterpretation later. These linguistic choices matter. They create narrative flexibility. Behind the scenes, the writing team's structural decisions are also revealing. The show has recently reintroduced classic soap elements that historically accompany resurrection storylines. Mysterious captors, secret medical interventions, memory loss arcs, and shadowy organizations with advanced resources. These aren't random plot devices. They're tools Salem uses when someone isn't as dead as they seem. The biggest shock comes from clues suggesting that Abigail's death may have been staged, either by someone trying to protect her or by someone who wanted her silenced without actually killing her. This theory gains traction when viewers consider how many powerful enemies Abigail had and how often characters